Oh man, do I love Halloween. It's far and away my favorite time of the year. I always look forward to the October month because there's so much great stuff going on. The Raiders are now playoff contention yet. The Braves haven't choked in the playoffs, but they're about to. And of course, candy, horror, monsters, gaudy decorations. If there's anything better out there than Halloween, I don't know what that could possibly be. I don't think it exists because Halloween is just, come on, look at that. What holiday compares to that? What facet of normal day to day life can compare to a boo bucket? You know, as great as Halloween is, Halloween's not so great for a certain population today, and that's today's youth. Now, I hate to editorialize about anything, but there is a trend that's going on, and I'm not sure how long it's been going on, but apparently it's been going on for quite some time, that I think is very damaging, not only to today's youth, but I think America and society as a whole. And that is this horrible concept called trunk or treating. Now, if you don't know what trunk or treating is, here's kind of the gist of it. Uh, Basically, it's when a bunch of families who perhaps know each other or live in the same community go out and find a parking lot and park their cars in a semicircle or some oblong formation. And they let the kids dress up in their costumes and walk from car to car, and they get candy out of their trunks, hence the name trunk or treat. And this is used as a replacement for traditional trick or treating, which involves people going from door to door, soliciting strangers for delicious teeth deforming treats. Now, I know what you're thinking. Trunk or treat, does it really sound that bad? And to kind of give you an answer, yes, it is. It's horribly damaging psychologically to these young people. And it also turns them into a bunch of social isolates who become prejudiced and more likely to do dangerous things later on in their lives. Now, I have no scientific evidence to prove that, but come on, we all know. We can look at the data 10 years from now. I predicted it. So, trunk or treating, I don't really know what the point of it is. I remember growing up as a kid, we'd go trick or treating and nothing bad happened to me. I know nowadays we live in a world where you have to catch a predator and all that stuff. So parents everywhere are really freaked out that if they send their kids out trick or treating, Jerry Sandusky's going to fall out of a tree and chase them around or something. Even though that's not really the case. And another thing about that is, I remember even as a kid, my parents would chaperone me. So you're not really sending out 8-year-olds into the bluff like in Atlanta, asking for Snickers bars. So to me, I don't really think trick or treating is that dangerous or corruptive of an activity. So why is there a need for trunk or treating? Well, of course, I think it's because of the only thing that really makes sense: classism. Why else would they be doing it? If you're trunk or treating, usually you're a very insulated community, you're hyper religious, or you're just stuck out in a neighborhood, out in the suburbs, gated community, an estate, whatever. And you don't want your kids commingling with the rest of society, and that's a horrible thing. If you're going to deprive them of interacting with their community, even if you don't agree with a large contingency of it, that's a good thing because guess what? One day they're going to be out in the world. They're going to have to commingle with people that don't have the same values or the same belief systems. And one of the best things about Halloween, looking back on it as a kid, that I realize now is it was an opportunity to see how other people in the community live. What do other neighborhoods look like? What do their living rooms resemble? How do they interact? How do they talk? How are they different? How are we the same? And Halloween, and especially trick-or-treating, provides a great sociological experience for young people. And what trunk-or-treating does is it takes them out of that environment, puts them in the same people they've always known, and just keeps fostering a sense of social superiority and group inclusion. And that's a bad thing. So, I don't know. If you're trunk-or-treating, I hate you. You should trick-or-treat. Let your kid go out on the streets. Go out there, dress up like a ghost with them. Go out there, take them out. Go to the really shady parts of town, the places you don't normally go. If you live out in the suburbs, go out to the trailer parks. Let them see what the rest of humanity looks like. Kind of teach them there's more to their world than whatever you've been brainwashing them in your living room with for the last 8 or 9 years. Just my opinion. I could be wrong. So anyway, trunk-or-treating, I don't know. Does it really act as a protective measure for kids? Comparatively, if you go trunk-or-treating, does that mean you're more likely to not be a drug addict when you're 16 or 17 or going to go join, MS-13 if you go trunk-or-treating as opposed to trick-or-treating? I really haven't seen that data. I think it's going to be kind of counterproductive, though. I don't know. I guess Miley Cyrus Her dad, old mullet head, must have took her trunk or treating, and look how she turned out. Yeah, trunk or treating, it's awful. I don't like it. I disagree with it wholeheartedly. It's an awful thing you can do to your children. It's not quite child abuse, but it's close. And trick or treating, kids need to know the joy of this. They need to know the value of collecting candy, of asking, building communication skills, seeing how others live. It's a good thing, not just for the candy manufacturers, not just for the Halloween decorations people, but for society as a whole. We get to see each other, we get to network, we get to be a community. And if you don't like that, I don't give a trunk.